Good morning, guys. Today, I've titled my message, The Danger of Drifting. So I'm going to start with a story, and then we're going to kind of go through what I've written down, I suppose. All right, so one time my dad was fishing with some friends on a river during ice out in one of his boats. While they were out on the river, they saw a really nice boat adrift by going towards a rocky part of the river where it would be wrecked. But they caught it and started to drive it up the river until they saw someone waving their hands and yelling, and they returned it to him. The boat was drifting towards a wreck. The same thing can happen in our Christian walk. I'm not speaking today to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Today it might be a little convicting. It was for me. I got the idea for the topic of this message from the daily devotional Solid Joys by John Piper. And in a bit, I'm just going to actually read the devotional, but let's take a look at some pre-questions or statements. Okay, so when you put God first in your life, do you notice a difference in how your life is going? At what point in your life do you feel most at peace, whether it's within yourself or in your family or friend relationships? I know for me, it's when I'm doing my daily devotions and meeting with God throughout the day. There is a saying that I've heard a lot, and there's a variation of it in this devotional. The saying is kind of that the Christian life is on a slope and we're a car. People are either in gear, driving up the slope, reading their Bible, and seeking God daily, or they're in neutral, just nonchalantly going about their life, saying that they're growing Christians but actually have no drive to live that lifestyle. Or there are people who are in reverse, which is in unrepentant sin, knowingly driving away from God. The problem is that you're on a hill. What does a car do when it is in neutral on a hill? That's an actual question. It goes backwards. Same in our Christian life. If we are in neutral or nonchalantly living our lives with no actual drive to live the way God's commanded us to live and being intentional about our faith, we're actually going backwards and away from God. One doesn't just drift to good places. But here's the devotion, and I'm just going to kind of read it. The verse today, Hebrews 2:1, is on your handout. It says, "Therefore, we must pay closer attention to what we have heard, lest we drift away from it." All right. We all know people that, my bad. So the danger of drifting. We all know people that this has happened to. There's no urgency, no vigilance, no focused listening or considering or fixing their eyes on Jesus. And the result has not been a standing still, but a drifting away. That is the point here. There is no standing still. The life of this world is not a lake. It is a river, and it is flowing downward to destruction. If you do not listen earnestly to Jesus and consider him daily and fix your eyes on him hourly, then you will not stand still. You will go backward. You will float away from Christ. Drifting is a deadly thing in a Christian life, and the remedy for it, according to Hebrews 2:1, is to pay close attention to what you have heard. That is, consider what God is saying in his Son Jesus. Fix your eyes on what God is saying and doing in the Son of God, Christ Jesus. This is not a hard swimming stroke to learn. The only thing that keeps us from swimming against the sinful culture is not the difficulty of the stroke, but our sinful desire to go with the flow. Let's not complain that God has given us a hard job. Listen, consider, fix the eyes. This is not what you would call a hard job description. In fact, it is not a job description. It is a solemn invitation to be satisfied in Jesus so that we do not get lured downstream by deceitful desires. If you're drifting today, one of the signs of hope that you are born again is that you feel pricked for this. and you feel a rising desire to turn your eyes on Jesus and consider him and listen to him in the days, months, and years to come. So that was short and sweet, but there was a lot in there. I just pray that you guys think over that, and yeah. Ashlyn, could you pray us out?
Dear Lord, I thank you for another morning of Catalyst and that we're able to come here freely. And I just pray that as we go throughout our week, you would help us to stay close to you and to not drift away. And I pray that you would help us to keep each other accountable as well, and that we would keep each other accountable as we keep each other in the Word, and that we would just follow you throughout our week and to have that passion and to have that will to drive for you. In Jesus'